In today's video, we're going to discuss and review the brand new Creepshow Ultimate Creep action figure from NECA.
We'll begin with a reign of terror. A few murders here and there.
Welcome to the Swearwolves YouTube channel. I'm Brett. If you're a returning subscriber, I just want to thank you for coming back. And if you're new to this channel, I want to thank you for stopping by. Please consider clicking both that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. We upload videos on a regular basis, podcast episodes every Monday, as well as the not as consistent review video in which we cover horror soundtracks, video games, collectibles, you name it. And today we are reviewing the brand new Creepshow Ultimate Creep action figure from NECA. Now, before we get started, I am a little bit under the weather, so my voice might sound kind of weird, but I am healing up just nicely, and my wife was actually out buying some stuff, medicine and tissues and all sorts of stuff the other day, and she came across this Creepshow Ultimate Creep action figure at Target. So I thought I would give it a little bit of a review here because she got it for me. Thankfully, I have a very supportive and caring wife who does things like this for me. So let's take a look at the packaging here. Now, right from the jump, this packaging, one of the best packagings, I think, for a NECA figure that I've seen in a long time. I love Creepshow, Creepshow 1, Creepshow 2. Little bit of trivia here. If you know what is considered Creepshow 3, comment down below in the comments, because there is a movie that wasn't called Creepshow 3, but Tom Savini, whose birthday it is actually today when I'm filming this, Tom Savini considers a certain movie to be Creepshow 3. This is one of my favorite movies, and one of the best poster arts for a movie is this Creepshow. I remember seeing this VHS box when I was a kid at the video store, and just always fascinated by it. So let's take a look at the cover here. We got kind of a glossy finish. You can see right there, it's a little bit glossy, but also a little bit of that matte finish too on certain portions. But it says Creepshow at the top, and then we got the creep right there as the ticket taker for the movie theater. It says the most fun you'll ever have being scared. And there's the creep and his gnarly hand with the tickets, and then it says Ultimate Creep action figure. Just a very good looking box right there. On the side it says Creepshow, and it is the 40th anniversary of Creepshow. And then here's the back, Creepshow. A compendium of 5 short but terrifying tales contained within a single full-length feature, Creepshow conjures scares from traditional boogeymen to portents of doom. In one story, a monster escapes from its holding cell. Another focuses on a husband with a creative way of getting back at his cheating wife. Other stories concern a rural man and a visitor from outer space, and a homeowner with huge bug problems and a boozing corpse. Got a couple pictures here of the creep then, sitting down and reading the book, and then coming through the window, and then here, the most fun you'll ever have being scared. Jolting tales of terror. Includes 3 interchangeable heads, candle, pumpkin, and comic book. And then here's the other side. Again, it just says Creepshow 40th anniversary. And as with all of the NECA Ultimates, we have this flap right here that opens up. We see the figure on the right-hand side. We'll get to that when we open up the figure. And on the left-hand side is just another still shot. This is the figure kind of peering in through the window. And then at the top it says, "You can call me Creep. I'm your guide on this terrifying journey into fear." Again, the packaging is just awesome. I highly recommend just getting that, maybe not even opening it, and keeping it for a display piece. But that's not what I do. That's not how I roll. I'm going to open this figure. So why don't we go ahead and get this opened, and we'll give it a proper review. All right, I got the figure open. Before we get to the figure itself, let's go ahead and talk about these accessories. Starting over here on the right with this jack-o'-lantern. As you can see, it's just a pumpkin with a carved face stereotypical jack-o'-lantern right here with the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. It's not really a vibrant orange. It's a very dull and dirty looking orange, but I guess that gives it some sort of realism that I kind of actually like. It does have these ribs carved into the pumpkin, which makes it look even more realistic. And it's got this nice stem detail on the top here, which I thought looked really good. You can actually open up the top to reveal the inside of the pumpkin. So you can see what is left, I guess, of the guts of the pumpkin right there on the lid and on the inside. So overall, the jack-o'-lantern looks pretty good. Next to the jack-o'-lantern, we have this candle. It's got this soft rubber flame shooting up from the top and this kind of turquoise bluish candle dripping wax down onto the candle holder right there. And the candle holder has these like gargoyles, if you will. This gothic looking candle holder, but I think it looks really cool. I like those little guys at the bottom there. Putting that aside, we also got this comic book, this Creepshow comic book, Jolting Tales of Horror. On the inside, you can see that it has one of the stories from the movie. In fact, this is the story about the bugs. I believe it's the last story in the movie. So that's kind of cool. Too small to read. My eyes aren't that good. But on the back, it's got this advertisement that you can mail away for some extra copies of Creepshow magazines. But that's very cool. Put that aside. And then we got, of course, the alternate heads. Now, the first head that we got is an homage to the movie poster or the box art that we got with this, because you can see it's this skull with the one eye, just like that box art has. And it's got like this hair blowing off to the side here. And of course, when you put it on the figure, you'd put the cloak over the top of it, so it would look more like that box art does. But the jaw does open and close. But we can take a look at the details of this. Now we got this translucent type hair. It's like a comb over right there. It's coming from the back out to the front, but that's all covered by the hood when you put it on the figure. But again, it's this translucent white hair. And then the skull itself has these nice, grotesque, gory details in it with that one eyeball kind of just looking at you. And then the mouth does open and you see the teeth or lack thereof that it has right there. Overall, I really like this head. It's probably the favorite head that came with the figure. And it's probably the one that I'll actually use to display the figure. But let's go talk about the other heads that you got. The second head is more of from the movie, like when the comic book or the cartoon, is like floating outside of the kid's bedroom. You'll see this version of the creep. And this is kind of like, it's not a skull. It's more of like a zombie, rotted flesh looking type head. So you can see that there's still some flesh on there, and there's some muscle and sinew all underneath there, and the teeth are all rotted out, but and the eyeballs are still in there, but it looks really cool. You can see the nose is rotted away. And then you got this hair kind of blowing up and away from the face. Still this translucent white hair. Looks kind of weird when you look at it like that, but from the front it looks really good, and I guess on the figure it would look really good as well. Mouth still does open with this kind of crooked jaw that it has, but that gives it a nice look. Like I said, very zombie looking. And then, of course, we got the figure and the head that came with the figure. Before we get to the head of the figure here, let's go ahead and talk about the articulation. The head does go left, right, up and down. And then we have shoulder movement, out and back, and then back and forward. We also have double joints in the elbows, so you can bend it once and then bend it again to give it that extra movement. The wrist does go in and out and turn. We have a joint at the kind of like the chest level that causes it to be able to twist left and right and give you that like ab crunch, but there's nothing at the hip level, which would be like right here. There's nothing there. We do have the hips though, which cause the legs to be able to move in and out and then back and forth. And then of course the knees bend and the feet do pivot and swivel at the ankle. Overall, the figure stands really good. It has a really good heft to it. It does stand right out of the box without a stand. Very good. And I will say that this is the Ultimate line, which is a 7-inch line of figures. They did come out with a Creep from Creepshow, the TV show, in the 8-inch line of figures. And I have that right here. However, this figure is shorter than this figure. So maybe this is to scale? I don't know, because this seems like it'd be about 6 inches because it's about an inch taller than this one. So I'm guessing that this is a scaled version of that figure. But I thought this was in the 8-inch line of figures, but it's obviously not 8 inches. So again, it must be to scale with the 8 inches. Keep that guy right there. One note of comparison between these figures is I thought originally that maybe this was just going to be a repackaging of this figure with different head sculpts, and it's not. There's clearly different hand sculpts, different body, different clothes, cloth goods that we got, and it's just a different figure altogether. So they didn't take the easy way out and just repackage a figure that they already had, which I do appreciate. Talking about the cloth goods, let's go ahead and talk about that first. The cloth goods around the hood here is a wire, which helps you like form the hood around the head, which I think is really cool because it allows the cloth to have more weight to it, or seemingly more weight to it, so you can pose it a little bit better and give it a little bit more, I don't know what you would call it. It just looks better. We also have a wire that goes down on either side, which can allow you to do some nice poses if you wanted to do like some photography with it, figure photography or whatever the case may be. And the wire does go down into these little straps here too. So you can really give it a nice look. Without the wire in there, you just have this cloth just kind of draped, and it wouldn't, it just wouldn't look real enough because the cloth wouldn't be big enough to have weight of its own. Like a hoodie that you would wear normally would have, the hood would have some weight so it would hang on your head. If you just had a little bit of cloth right there, it would like poke up and out and everything. But having that wire allows you to form that around the head to make it look a little bit better. You can take this wire off to reveal that we have the figure right here and the figure's head. And this is another sculpt of that same sort of head that we looked at right here, except for the hair's a little bit different and the eyes look a little bit different because they're looking kind of that direction. But again, the jaw opens and closes. Put that cloth good hood back up on top here, and we can look at the cloth. It's kind of like this cheesecloth almost material, see-through material, very light, but it looks good. It's this weathered kind of brownish, dirty, dingy looking cloth all the way around. Not much to that. And then the hands, of course, right here are like these corpse hands where you can see the knuckles are worn away to reveal the bone, and you can see the tendons inside on the top of the hands here, and the nails are really long, almost look like claws. And on the underside you have more of these tendons being revealed. It's kind of this grayish, greenish color, almost that of a gremlin figure, that kind of color to it. And then this hand has the one finger that's pointing, and you got those bones and tendons showing through on this hand as well. Down to the feet look pretty much the same as the hands, but just a little bit maybe more skin on that foot right there than than the hands had, and a little lighter in color. The legs and the arms also have some detail, even though you don't see them. But that's what the detail looks like right there. On the legs, the arms, very similar to the legs. Overall, I think the sculpt is really good. And like I said, it's a very, not a lot of weight per se, but it has a certain amount of weight to it, which allows it to be able to stand and balance right out of the box without a stand, which I appreciate, because not all the time do you want to go get a stand for your figures. You want to be able to have them stand up on their own. Like I said, I think I'm going to use the other head though, not the one that came on the figure. This one right here is the head that I'm going to put on. So why don't I go ahead and get this figure posed, how I'm going to have him displayed, and then I'll be back with my final thoughts. All right, I got the figure posed, how I'm going to have him displayed, and I think this looks really good, having this head kind of mimicking what is on the cover box there, and having him hold the comic book instead of the tickets, of course, and then having the pumpkin and the candle right there as accessories. I just think it looks really good. And I have this little guy in the background because I thought, they'll look really good next to each other, and I think they do. One thing that I really do hope for is that we get some more Creepshow figures. I know actually Mego is coming out with a Father's Day figure from Creepshow, so I'll put a picture of that up here. But I hope maybe NECA comes out with some more things. One thing that I thought would be cool is if NECA put out an accessory pack for a Creepshow figure and maybe gave us the ticket booth. I thought that would look really cool. Another thing that might be good is to get the Creepshow 2 Creep, both from the cover of the movie poster, and also the one that is portrayed by Tom Savini in Creepshow 2, because I thought that would look really cool. But anyway, I'm going to give this overall 5 out of 5 Pamela Voorhees heads. If you have any thoughts on this figure or anything, actually, really, please go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you feel so inclined, please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. We are the Swearwolves, and we do a weekly show in which we review horror movies, and you can watch that right here on our YouTube channel every Monday. Or you can find it wherever you listen to your podcasts by searching for The Swearwolves. You can also visit our website at theswearwolves.com. So for The Swearwolves, I'm Bret.